California. It's not operating in the US. In their data consent form, they are telling people that they might not adhere to the data conditions provided by the EU. It was stopped in Indonesia. Why? Why is it only operating in third world countries? We are not seeing developed countries. From the news also we've seen that, that it is like a new colonialism based on data that is only operating in the third world countries. Why was Kenya chosen as one of the countries that they will do their feasibility study? Kenya, Indonesia, and Chile. Thank you.
Honorable, we are going to go in order. So the next one to have a shot is the Honorable Member for Kajiado East.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I have very few questions. In addition to what my colleague have asked, Kimayo, we're doing this for the best interest of Kenyans. Because we don't want Kenyans to be the guinea pigs of these experiments. And so my questions are, one, from just basic internet searches, we found that this company was in trouble and was stopped in Germany from actually conducting the same exercise. And I'd like to question the commissioner whether she and her office did a background check of this company before they gave them the certificate. Because it doesn't take rocket science to just Google or search and you see that this company was stopped in Germany, in fact, for doing this. And second question is, I don't remember seeing an advert on the national dailies about Bettercoin advertising its activities. And the activities were so big that even here in Parliament we were overwhelmed by the lines of people lining up just across the street and all over the place to get their data collected by this company. Public participation into Kenya. Just walk into our office of data, our data agency, and obtain the certificate and off the door running around our country collecting sensitive data from our people. And at what point does our data agency protect Kenyans from foreign data collectors from taking advantage of our people?
Honorable Member for Mboni.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Commissioner, for that brief. You are saying this came to your attention in April 2022. Up to date, how many have been registered? And where is that database of the registration? Is it here or is it outside? Two, as the person mandated to protect our data, when you realized WorldCoin was in Kenya and collecting information, did you really dig deep to understand the objective? What you are saying here is what you picked from their registration application form. Know your customer and registration. My understanding is for any institution to understand their customers, then they can pick any data they want. Is Kenya customers to WorldCoin? Are we shareholders of the WorldCoin? How did they approach us? Did you dig deep to understand why, in particular, they came to Kenya? We know, although you are saying here they are operating in US, we know for sure they are registered in US and they are not operating in US. They were kicked out of US. With that information, how were they allowed to operate here in Kenya? You said also you got a confidential cover letter dated 6 May 2022. Why was it confidential? And can we see a copy of that letter? From an ICT point of view, my understanding is when the WorldCoin is capturing, or rather when they are scanning the iris, this information is captured online and transmitted immediately. What we have heard is information has not left Kenya. Why are we being lied? We have the Minister of ICT, we have you as our Data Protection Commissioner. This information has gone out. Do you know how it is being used out there? Rather than say it is still within here. Can I pause there?
The Honorable Member for Kisumu.
Thank you.
And you can take this opportunity to also re-clarify the earlier issue.
Thank you. I've heard you in Parliament. You said the same thing. I'm hearing you now. You're saying the same thing. Firstly, let me re-clarify. According to you, you are here to clarify that it's not your job to know whether the company is registered for their core business. It's not your job. You don't care two bloody hoots about it. As long as somebody fills this form that nobody sees, nobody assesses, nobody looks at, it is done electronically, as you've just told us. In Parliament, you said the same thing. Once this form is filled, what then? What is your job as the data processing what do you call yourselves? Data Protection Commissioner. What is your job? Is your job to then find out, A, is this sensitive data? They're saying it's sensitive. What is the megabyte of data? Where is it going? It says it here. Where will the data be processed? Where will it be sent outside? It said all this. Yet, 1 week ago, you said nothing. You didn't come to tell us that there's a Commonwealth declaration on Commonwealth Network. Are you members of that? You didn't tell us that the African Data Protection Authority is looking after this thing. You didn't tell us that. You didn't tell us were your signatories to the African Union on Convention on Cyber Security and Personal Data Protection. You did not say that. Did you then talk to us at what this country, I can't remember what the former name is, but Ashwateni, which is the former Swaziland. What are they doing on the data protection? Did you learn from them? Have you known what are the penalties that they have? $5.5 million. What are your penalties, madam? 2,000 shillings, 4,000 shillings. All you're interested in is it appears that we formed the Commissioner's office and you're sitting there looking at forms which are filled in, and you've come over here today and said you don't know these things because you see, look at the protection data thing. This was the spirit, the idea we put down. You were to develop the spirit and the regulatory authority. You come here through the press arrogantly saying that we knew about this, we wrote to them in 2011 or 2022. 1 year, they've already been here 1 year. You tell us, why didn't you tell us in Bunge that you know these people and you wrote to them? If you wrote to them, where is the letter? Who did you write to? Where is the response? Did a response come from the owner, Sam Altman? The response come from that lady who was talking at KICC. She was a Kamba lady. I don't know who it was. Would the response come from some chokora somewhere? Who was that person? Who gave you this response? Did you verify? No. Did you do anything? No. All it happened is, it appears to me that your commission decided, and then, oh yeah, on the 10th of August, ODPC obtained preservatory orders in Nairobi. Shame on you. In Parliament, we said go and get the orders from the get those orders interterritorial orders. You mean, if you had come and told me or told us that we have written to the African Convention on Cyber Security, African Union on Cyber Security, and we have looked at the international cyber security, and we have asked for that preservation orders. What are you preserving here in Kenya? Kenya knows nothing. Absolutely nothing. So rather than come and bring us these
Honorable Shakil, in the
last
part of your submission, I'd like to request that you pose the issues, and you bring up issues. Pose them now as questions that can be responded to by the Data Commissioner.
Rather than us bringing these things, you as the Data Commissioner, who we pay a lot of money to, and your office, how many are you? 100 of you? 50 of you? You should
This WorldCoin doesn't operate in the US, yet the company is registered in California. It's not operating in the US. In their Tata concept, they're telling people that they might not adhere to the Tata conditions provided by the EU. It was stopped in Indonesia. Why? Why is it only operating in third world countries? We are not seeing them in the developed countries.
because we don't want Kenyans to be the guinea pigs.